Welcome to another episode of the ZTV Sports Report, your home for all things Akron Zips athletics. I'm Dante, and with me today, I have my co-host, Michael Matthews.
Yes, the King is back, the greatest ZTV Sports Report host of all time. But anyway, we have some great volleyball games and soccer games to get to, and I think it's about time we start.
So stay right here because the ZTV Sports Report starts now.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics. Now, earlier this month, the Zips men's soccer team took on two teams from the Peach State. If you're not aware, that's Georgia. Now, Dante, how did these games turn out?
Well, against Georgia Southern, the Zips looked like themselves, but interestingly enough, against Georgia Southern, a team I thought, or not Southern State, my mistake. Yeah. I thought they just didn't look like themselves. I thought they'd play better. I was like, what is this? What are they doing? This is not the team we know and love, and we support them regardless,
Absolutely. Let's check in with Andrew. Hey, Andrew, how did our Zips look?
Hey, Michael. The Zips look pretty good at their home match against Georgia Southern. The 13th ranked men's soccer team triumphed at First Energy Stadium, scoring 2 goals, one in each half. This is coming off a tie game at West Virginia on September 30th. Here's a penalty kick by number 4 Jonas Bukte, but it misses and hits the rim. He attempts another shot later on, but is blocked as well as another one. Georgia Southern tries to get a shot here, but there's some miscommunication it looks like, and Akron goalkeeper Will Meyer recovers the ball. At 27 minutes in, Akron's number 7 Diogo Pacheco scored the Zips their first goal of the night. It was a free kick to corner. That will be his 4th overall. He's been a real asset to the team this season. One of the last plays of the first half is a shot by number 16 Juan Kamal, but is saved by Georgia Southern's goalie. And that'll do it for the first half. The score 1-0 as Akron leads strong. There were a whopping 12 shots for the Zips this first half, as well as 5 corner kicks and 4 fouls. We kick off the second half with a shot by Georgia Southern that is blocked by Akron's Will Meyer, looking great out there as always. Here, there is an attempted shot by Akron's number 30, Samuel George, but is defended by Georgia Southern's goalie, Joko Blankson. He answered back, however, with a goal, Akron's 2nd of the night, assisted by Malik Henry and Johnny Fitzgerald. That will be the last score of the night, with the final score being Georgia Southern 0, your Akron Zips 2. There were a total of 21 shots and 7 corner kicks for Akron. Senior goalkeeper Will Meyer returned in his 3rd consecutive and 4th overall shutout at the game thanks to his 2 saves. The Zips did well in that game. However, I wish the same could be said about their next game. The men's soccer team faced off against Georgia State at First Energy Stadium just 2 days after their win against Georgia Southern. It was not a pretty sight, unfortunately, as the Zips struggled tremendously this game. Here's Akron's Diogo Pacheco with a shot, but he is left woodward. It would have been nice if that was a goal. Then, at 38 minutes in, Georgia State scores their first goal of many in this game. It was scored by Salar Farrier. At halftime, the score is 0-1, Akron having 4 shots and GSU having 2. No saves yet for both teams. The first half starts off with an attempted shot by GSU, but hits the top rim and bounces back. It looks like the ball is going to make its way back. However, GSU moves it back up. Sarfari kicks and makes the 2nd goal for them. The goal was wide open there, Will Meyer leaving it unprotected. The Zips do attempt to come back with a header goal by Diogo Pacheco, assisted by Malik Henry. Diogo also has 8 saves total for this game. He is truly an essential player on this team and never gives up even when things seem lost. However, not long after, GSU scores yet again. That'll be the last score of the night. Everyone was just shocked at how things turned out for the Zips. Will Meyer was definitely not on his game that evening. The final score being GSU 3, Akron 1. Hopefully the Zips can improve for their next few games this season. For the ZTV Sports Report, this is Andrew Youngdahl.
All right, thanks, Andrew. You know, it's been a very exciting win against Georgia Southern. Kind of disappointing loss against Georgia State.
Yeah, I mean, it's more shocking than disappointing. Like, it just wasn't the same team. Like, even the goal scored on Will Meyer, it looked very savable by him. And I remember being there and they scored it. Everyone stood there like, they just scored? What? Yeah. What? They just what? Like, no one could believe it, including the Zips team. It was very shocking.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get them next time, but make sure you don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with the ZTV Sports Report.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey guys, just found out my class was canceled. Where's everyone at?
I'm at Lock 4. Do you guys want to meet here?
I actually just left the Civic Theater. Michael, you and I can meet up if you're not still at the Hall of Fame.
Wow, Maria, you're actually hilarious. I'm actually here at Canal Park. How about we just meet up at like Highland Square or something?
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back. Earlier this month, the Zips volleyball team had a very unfortunate rivalry weekend against the Kent State volleyball team. The first game, that was rough. But I'm happy to say they really brought it back in the second game. I mean, what do you think, Michael?
I mean, after that first one, no pun intended, we got zipped up. It was not good.
You said zipped up. I can't believe it.
No, I mean, it's a play on words. I'm kind of good with those. But anyway, the second game was actually a lot more hopeful for the future. Still not a win, but there's some hope.
They brought the fight to Kent State.
Right.
Like, they came out swinging. And that fifth set, it was so decisive.
Absolutely.
Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was close for the first half of that last set, but the Kent State Golden Flashes unfortunately pulled away. But without further ado, let's see what Max has for us with the highlights.
Hello, Zips sports fans. My name is Max Aracey, and welcome to a women's volleyball 2-game series between the Kent State Golden Flashes and your Akron Zips. 2 players that are coming in hot are Savannah Matthews for Kent and Alexis Adleta for the Zips. Both players totaled over 20 points in their most recent games. Now, without further ado, let's get into the action. Despite some difficulty in acquiring and maintaining a lead, the Zips are going to have some solid play throughout the first set. Here's a nice spike from number 19, Tegan Ochaya, followed by a service ace from number 2, Taylor Sheritz. Leading the way in this first game is going to be Kent State's Savannah Matthews. She's going to tally 12.5 points with 11 kills, 12 digs, and a service ace for good measure. A big factor contributing to the Zips' deficit in this first game has to do with their inability to convert the kill. On 112 total chances, they only tallied 36 kills. Meanwhile, Kent had 37 on only 93 total attempts. Despite just edging out the set 1 victory, Kent isn't going to have much trouble with the second, outscoring Akron 25-15 in that span. Despite the offensive struggles, one Zip will stand out for a tremendous defensive performance. Number 2, Taylor Sherritts, tallied 18 digs, as opposed to the team's next highest of 5. And with this point here, the Kent State Golden Flashes will win Game 1, 3-0 over the Zips. The set totals will be 25-21, 25-15, and 25-22. Game 2, taking place the next day on October 16th, is going to go the distance, all 5 sets. The first set stats will be pretty identical, with Akron tallying 16 kills on 44 attempts. Kent will have 17 kills on 46 attempts. This game is going to stay pretty neck and neck for the rest of the way, a fact that's reflected in the endgame stats. Akron, for example, had 70 kills, 29 errors, and 201 total attempts. Kent had 68 kills, 28 errors, and 201 total attempts, the same as the Zips. Despite many mentionable names, only one player is truly going to stand out as this game's MVP. That belongs to number 17 for the Flashes, Danny Tyson, who totals 20 points on 17 kills, 6 digs, and 3 blocks. Among the other notable names, for Kent, Jacqueline Kaspers, Savannah Matthews, and Kirsten Kraus all put up big numbers, while for Akron, Alexis Adleta, Tegan Ochaya, and Faith Johnson will do the same. Arguably the Zips' best individual performance, however, is going to come from number 17, Kayliana Jones. On just 26 attempts, about half that of some of her other teammates, she'll put up an efficient 15 kills, which will lead the entire team. Kent, having taken set 2 to tie up the score, will take set 3 as well, giving them a 2-1 advantage. The Zips will come right back then and win set 4, pushing this game all the way to 5 sets. The final set is going to go in favor of Kent State, who edges out Akron 15-11, giving them both wins on the series. And with that, Akron falls to a record of 9-12, as Kent State improves to a record of 9-11. Thank you for watching. Go Zips!
Wow, thanks, Max. What about Kayliana Jones? I mean, just took over the set.
Let me tell you, as an innocent bystander in what she put out, that was incredible. Like, if you compare the first game and the second game, you can see her going up for the same spikes, but they were bluffs. The second game, they said, actually, no bluffs. And she sent it with force. Like, it was incredible.
Absolutely.
And she's only a freshman.
Being a freshman, I'm excited to see what we can get from Kayliana after this.
I am also very excited. But without further ado, it's time for us to take our second break. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at yet another men's soccer game against Penn State, and we will be transitioning into our favorite segment, the hot seat. Stay tuned.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Hi there, I'm Connor Van Mael.
And I'm Kyle Temis, and we are very excited to announce a brand new season of Akron After Hours. Right after we fire our cameraman.
Hey Andrews, is it focus?
I don't know.
It's not.
Shut up, Kyle!
Yeah, nobody asked you, Kyle. Let me see.
You can tell from this angle. You can tell from that angle.
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics. Earlier in the show, we talked about a very disappointing loss to Georgia State, but this time we can go right back over to Cub Cadet Field and see how we fared against Penn State. Take it away, Nico.
Thanks, guys. Akron comes into this game with a 6-3-2 record, and the Penn State Nittany Lions enters this game with an 8-3-1 record. Akron also leads the season series and have a record of 17, 14, and 6. This game brought nothing but energy, as the Akron Zips came into the game as underdogs, taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State came into the game with the better record, however, Akron's home record stood to be true. Akron men's soccer team parlayed a pair of first-half goals into a 2-1 triumph over Penn State, leaving Penn State 8-4-1 on the season in this non-conference showdown. Sophomore Ryan Kingsford from England garnered his third goal of the season at the 15:01 mark of the initial stanza, off assist from sophomore Johnny Fitzgerald, his team leading sixth of the campaign, and freshman Malik Henry to give Akron a lead it didn't relinquish. Freshman Dyson Claypier scored what proved to be the game-winning tally in the 20th minute. This goal came courtesy of assists from senior Diego Pacheco and sophomore Ryan Kingsford. The Zips finished the tilt posting a 15-6 overall edge in shots, including a 5-3 margin in shots on goal. Ryan Kingsford directed the Zips' offensive efforts with a career and game-high 5 shots, while Claypier and Pacheco added 4 and 2 strikes respectively. The Nittany Lions spoiled the shutout bid with a goal from Dax Hoffman at the 82-34 mark, but senior goalkeeper Will Meyer, the GOAT, finished the affair making a pair of saves for Akron's final win. This game came as a shocker as the Zips came as underdogs into the game. Penn State entered this game with an 8-3-1 ledger, and they were riding a 3-match winning streak following a 2-1 victory past Michigan on that Sunday. The Nittany Lions entered this game ranked number 1 in the entire NCAA in penalty kicks with a percentage of 1,000. They were 20th in save percentage, they were 28th in goal differential, 34th in goals against average, and winning percentage of a 70.8. So it came as a shocker as the Akron Zips, who have the number 1 winning percentage in the entire NCAA since the year of 2007, beat them. That win was a morale booster for the Zips as they improved their series record against the Nittany Lions, 18-14 with 6 draws. Until next time, my name is Nico Weathers. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Nico. Honestly, I'm so glad that the Zips were able to bring it back. You know, it's always a good feeling to win against a Big Ten school, and I was worried after they lost to the unranked Georgia State.
Yeah, especially, you know, a 2-1 victory. It's not decisive, but at the same time, you prove that you outclassed that team.
It's a little decisive, you know. I mean, it's close. It could still go into overtime, but either way, you know, it's a good win. You got 2 goals, and you kept the other team to 1. You know, there were saves. Will Meyer had his saves, but without further ado, it's time for us to get into our favorite segment, the hot seat. You can tweet at us at ZTV Sports using the hashtag #TheHotSeat. So, for our first topic, we're going to talk about the men's soccer team. Michael, what are your thoughts on the team's recent struggles?
So the team's recent struggles, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to overreact. And I think it's the easiest time to overreact. I think this soccer team, I predicted in our first episode to finish top 5.
Well, we're ranked 24th.
I don't know if I'm still close to that prediction
right now.
anymore. But at the same time, I still think we can get all the way. We can go all the way, Dante.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. I don't see home field advantage happening, unfortunately. I would have loved to have been able to make it to that game, but I was a little wrong in my previous take about the team. You know, they were on a very nice streak there, but losing to the unranked teams that they have, I'm not panicking, but there is concern.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Like, every time they lost to those teams, it just didn't feel real. It was like, but they're better than this. They're better than these teams. And I know I said they were improperly ranked at first, but now it's just like, were they? And I was saying that when they're, 15th? Now they're 24th at the time of this, episode being recorded.
It's been a significant drop. It's not one to panic about, like you just said. With those top teams, or at least teams that are unranked, I'd take a tie, maybe.
I don't want ties though. Like,
I mean,
here's the thing. I think they had a tie against UM. I think it was 0-0, double overtime.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not score in 110 minutes of soccer?
I don't get it.
Once. Like, maybe it is both defense. I mean, it's great defensively for the Zips, but atrocious offensively.
Absolutely. And Will Meyer is going to carry the team. That's just the way
he is the backbone of that Zips back line. He just holds it together.
How about Malik Henry, I believe, the fastest man out there on the pitch every single time he steps foot out there?
It's always exciting when he not gets his hands on, that's for sure. Yeah. But when he gets the touch on the football, soccer ball,
same thing.
Same thing, it works. When he gets his feet on it?
Feet.
Anyways, when he gets
probably don't want to.
When he gets the ball, I'm always excited to watch what happens next because he's just so much faster than the rest. And he's here for a while. He made the TopDrawer.com's top 100 freshman.
Yeah, still considered a freshman after the COVID year.
Yeah, technically he'd be a sophomore, but they didn't really play during that COVID year, I don't think. I think it was, if they did, it was very, very little.
It probably shouldn't even have been counted. But he is very fast, almost as fast as me. But continue.
All right, we're going to move on to our next segment now that you've said such nonsense on this show.
That's a fact. We can actually race. Set that up.
We'll set it up.
We can race.
Catch us in a few episodes.
Please.
So now, with a lot of the fall sports seasons coming to a close, we're going to talk about just what our expectations were of these teams and where they are now. So we're going to start with one I have a lot of expertise in.
Okay.
The women's soccer team. I feel like we don't give them enough love on this show.
We don't. And
we don't really have, we don't get the footage for it. So
yeah, it's a lot harder to put it out there.
So moving on. As someone who went to literally every one of their games, they went 3-12, I believe, with this most recent loss.
That's tough.
It's unfortunate, and it's sad to see some of these seniors go. I believe Sarah, I'm forgetting her name, but she literally had a hat trick as a freshman. Incredible, right? Hat trick, and she just came out the gate. She graduated. She was a huge deal at forward striker. I always get them mixed up. They just have so many people there that just graduating. It's sad because it's like you want them to be the future, but it's over.
It's sad, and like you said, you do want them to be that future, but you're going to have to make room for those coming in.
I'm excited because Katie Stafford, a defender, she went off one weekend and had like 2 or 3 goals in a weekend as a defense.
As a
defender.
Just like me, that's what I used to do out there. I'm not lying. Everything I've said on this show so far has been 100% fact.
So, moving on to the next team, men's football. I mean, I hate to say it, but Nico might have been right.
I think
he's what do you say? Somewhere between 2 to 4 wins.
Yeah.
We're at 2 right now. We got a couple home games coming up. Not many away games. We have an away game coming up, and then 2 home games. It's looking rough.
It is looking kind of rough. I will say, DJ Irons, low key.
He's the guy.
Might be the guy.
It's not low key because we've seen the other 2 quarterbacks play, and isn't DJ Irons the youngest too?
I believe so.
He's the guy. Ideally, we get Cato his last ride, and we could with how this season's going. I don't see them making a bowl game, unfortunately.
No way.
I think this offseason there's got to be a lot of like restructuring of schemes and just I think they just got to take a different approach to offense and maybe defense. Defense has been hit or miss.
Yeah, absolutely. I think O-line. That's something that needs to be worked on as soon as possible. No questions about it.
I mean, they run the ball all right. They're a solid running team.
But we give up a lot of sacks as well.
It could be due to our quarterbacks being they all scramble. They all love scrambling. So some of those may be outside the pocket. I'd have to review the footage.
At the same time, though, you know, those wide receivers are not just always open downfield, and quarterback has to do something. Has to.
Another team, real quick here, just to get into it before we get out of here. The volleyball team.
Yes.
It's sad because this is another team with a lot of seniors. I know Adleta, she's a super senior, but she had an extra year of eligibility due to that COVID year.
Right.
So she's gone. She set some career records at the university. We're losing a few others too, but I'm not sure if we're losing Y again, but I know a lot of people that we have graduating.
Yeah, it's tough.
So one thing they really got to focus on, I think, is just bringing in the right people, you know?
Absolutely.
Bring in some people that can make good plays more, because they make good plays, like I said. They just need to do it more.
Absolutely.
They need to do it more. There's too many times I see them go up for consecutive spikes and they get blocked at the net. There just needs to be something changed, you know?
Absolutely.
And whether that's on coaching of the players, I couldn't tell you. I have not any experience in volleyball.
I do. Outstanding server, might I add. One thing I do want to say.
Beach volleyball doesn't count.
No, I'm talking real volleyball.
Like,
you should see the serve.
With a referee?
Yeah, you should see the serve. I just punch it. Anyway, give the freshmen some play. That's all I want to say.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of the ZTV Sports Report. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at ZTV Sports Report. My name is Dante Tolsdorf.
And I'm Michael Matthews.
Signing off. Go Zips.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV. Make media, make a difference.